Pakistan would still like to cooperate with India to combat terrorism. The hurdles we face within the UN and in general as far as the Kashmir cause is concerned, that still exists.
Some leaders earn their place on the world stage, others are simply born into it, but few have fumbled their inheritance, quite like Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. At 35, he is Pakistan's nepo prince. He has 2 famous last names and a foreign accent. But what he's missing is diplomatic skills, the kind you cannot inherit. You can only earn them. And looks like Bilawal is learning that the hard way. You see, after Operation Sindoor, India acted swiftly. It dispatched delegations across the globe, multi-party delegations that represented India. Our leaders presented facts. They briefed India's friends and partners across the world. They told them what happened, how Pakistani terrorists killed innocent civilians in India. And Pakistan had a choice here. They could either introspect or they could imitate India. Of course, they chose imitation. And they sent the first political heir they could find. So Bilawal Bhutto Zardari was sent to New York. And he came armed with delusions. Bilawal was addressing a press conference at the United Nations headquarters. He was speaking about terrorism, and he came up with a grand idea. Listen to this.
Pakistan would still like to cooperate with India to combat terrorism. We can't leave the fate of 1.5, 1.7 billion people in the hands of non-state actors and terrorists. For them to decide at a whim that 2 nuclear armed powers will go to war.
So this is Bilawal's grand strategy, a collaboration between India and Pakistan, between the RAW and the ISI, that too to combat terrorism. We say the idea is DOA, dead on arrival, because it's the same ISI that shelters terror networks, the same ISI that has masterminded attacks on Indian soil. But Bilawal Bhutto Zardari says India should join hands with them. That is his strategic brilliance. It's like watching the arsonist torch a house and then volunteer to help the fire brigade. So here's a message for Mr. Bhutto. India is already tackling terrorism. That is why India bombed 9 terror camps in Pakistan. But what is Islamabad doing? They're handing out money and state funerals to terrorists, which obviously is not fighting terror, it is funding terror. This is a kind of suggestion that might work at a model UN. Sadly for Bilawal, this was the real one. And we know diplomacy is hard. But it's a lot harder when you're trying to copy your neighbor's playbook. India has concrete evidence, Pakistan has excuses. The thing is, you cannot copy-paste credibility. And here's when things went downhill. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari tried to pull the victim card. He said that this was being politicized to demonize Indian Muslims. That's what he said, demonize Indian Muslims. It was a sweeping claim, one designed to elicit global sympathy. Unfortunately for Bilawal, he was immediately fact-checked by a journalist.
You cannot combat terrorism if you're going to use it as a political tool to demonize the Muslims within your own country.
Let me start with a statement you made today, saying that the recent terrorist attack in Kashmir is being used as a political tool to demonize Muslims in India. Sir, I have watched the briefings on both sides, and as far as I recall, there were Muslim Indian military officers who were conducting the briefing on the Indian side.
Well, as far as the operation is concerned, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
Bilawal says Indian Muslims are demonized, so the journalist mentions the Indian military briefings. One of the officers leading them was Colonel Sophia Qureshi, again an Indian Muslim officer. And for a moment, Bilawal had no answer. It's like someone suddenly showed him Pakistan's hidden terror camps. This fact check derailed his entire script. So here's some free advice for Islamabad. Before launching an international campaign, come up with some original content. The world has heard the Kashmir rant. They've seen the sympathy tour. They've endured the contradictions. You want respect? Then start with coherence. Start by cleaning up the mess at home. Stop shielding the very actors you claim to oppose and maybe send someone with experience to the United Nations. Because right now, Bilawal is not leading a diplomatic delegation. He's leading a PR disaster.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karjo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Sekali radikali. Stop
Japanese,
$4 trilhões.
Portuguese,
Por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.